Okay, guys, this is what we're going to be making today. We're going to be making a hinge in inches. Okay, so we're going to go and start our new model here in inches. So new standard part in inches. Okay, we're going to create a 2D sketch in the XY plane, and we're going to start with a rectangle that is a regular 2-point rectangle. We're going to start in the bottom right hand corner of the origin and drag up and left. Let's do 1.25 inches and then hit tab by 0.0625 inches. And I may have hit 3.5, it won't matter. So there we go. We've got this kind of long, skinny rectangle. Let's also add a circle at 0.375 inches. And we're going to add a couple of constraints to this circle. So the first constraint we're going to add is a tangent constraint. So I'm going to click on the circle, and I'm going to click on the baseline. You can see that that brings that down to the baseline of our rectangle. The next constraint I'm going to add is a vertical constraint. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click on the center dot, the center point of our circle. Then you'll notice the little guideline. And then I'm going to click on the origin, just like that. Okay, almost done. One more circle to add. This circle, let's make in the same concentric radius. So we're going to start from the same center point, and let's do 0.25. What do you say? Just like that. All right, there we go. Looking pretty good, if I don't say so myself. So we've got the outer wall of the tube of the hinge and then the plate of the hinge. And let's go ahead and extrude those right now. So I'm going to click on that and that. All right, and we've started the process of extruding. We're going to extrude symmetrically, which means evenly from both sides of the sketch plane. And let's go ahead and put 5 in as our number there. All right. Now we've got a nice looking hinge base to really start getting down and dirty with it. Okay, so we're going to go plane, we're going to go offset from plane, and we're going to go and pull, wrong one, beep, beep, back up, plane, offset from plane, and we're going to pull this end face in 1 inch. So that's -1 inch, and hit OK. So you should have a work plane sandwiched 1 inch in on the inside of your hinge there. All right. Since we have the work plane, let's use it. Let's create a 2D sketch. So click on that work plane, create 2D sketch, and the very first thing I want us to do is we're going to project geometry. All right. We did that with the hammerhead, and that's what we're going to do here. And specifically, what I want us to project is this outer edge here. It's that area highlighted in white. Okay, then we're going to come up to the line. Let me zoom in a little bit, and we're going to start at the edge of that geometry we just projected, scoot down, boop, 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 oh, right there, and now we've connected and we've created a closed shape. So we can go ahead and finish this sketch just like that. We're going to extrude one more time, and we're going to go to cut. Okay, but we don't want to cut 5 inches. We only want to cut 1 inch. Okay, and boom. Took a bite out of crime, or at least our hinge here. So there you go. We've got that part, and then the sketch that we just created took a bite out of that section. But our hinge is not complete. We need to repeat that, and so this seems like a good candidate for a rectangular pattern. I'm going to come over here to that area that we just took a bite of. That's going to be the feature that we want to repeat. And we're going to click on direction 1 and click on the edge of our hinge plate. All right. Let's put that spacing at 2 inches and hit OK. What do you think, guys? We got the nice beginnings here of a hinge plate. Okay. Now, this plane, I don't know about you, it's bothering me a little bit, so I'm going to hit the visibility feature and just kind of turn that off. And then the next thing we want to do is we want to sketch a 2D sketch on the top surface of our hinge plate. And I'm going to project geometry again. We're going to project that top edge and that bottom edge. And that's going to give us what we need to create another rectangle. We'll start at that top left-hand corner and move down to that bottom right-hand corner, just like that. Okay, once we've got our second rectangle placed over top in the exact same dimensions, we're going to click Offset, and then come over here and click on that rectangle and come in some amount. Let's go ahead and dimension it. Let's do 0.25. So I'm going to click on that arm and then that arm, and then type in 0.25. Now we got a rectangle that's dimensioned offset of 1/4 inch. Looks pretty good to me. And here's the next step that we're going to do, guys. We're going to go to rectangular pattern, and what do we want to repeat? Well, it's actually this bottom edge right here. Okay, what's the direction that we're going to repeat that in? We're going to repeat it along this long axis. Right now it's pointing down. We want it to point up, so we're going to flip it. And how many repeats do we want? Well, we want 4. Okay, we're going to go ahead and set that the full length, which in this case is 4.5 inches. And we're going to choose fitted, right? So that we evenly space those 4 across the surface, just like that. Okay? All right, looking pretty good, looking pretty good. Now, this next part might be a little tricky, so I want you to follow along with me. I want you to hold down Control on your keyboard, and I want you to hover over and click, okay, on the points that make up the intersection of the lines we just created and the corners and edges of the plane, okay? And if you do that, once you've done that, I want you to hold down Control and I want you to choose center point, right? So each one of these should read as a center point. Let me just double check that it does on there, and then hit Finish Sketch. This can sometimes be a little tricky, guys, so you just got to make sure you click on each one of those points, okay? All right, so we're going to change our diameter to 0.125, so we're going to make that a little smaller, just like that, and hit OK. And now we've got some nice-looking holes that we could turn into screw holes. We're going to chamfer the edge of those holes, and I just want to show you something. Illustrator also will work with fractional measurements, like 1/32 of an inch. Boom, just like that. So one more time, chamfer, 1/32. Let's hit OK. All right, one more time, chamfer, 1/32. Hit OK. And here we go. Here's our last one, chamfer, 1/32. Just like that. Guys, we're doing really great. Let's go ahead and save our model. Save it. We'll call it hinge. Right? Just like that. And you guys are done. Congratulations. Looking good, peeps. Give me a holler if you have any problems, and I will see you on the flip side.